attention now on the Chicanos in the city because these kids were serious.
A lot of us had the same sort of complaints about what was happening in our lives as far as our education. So we decided to take a survey.
That's when we start to gather that information and start interacting with the school district saying, you're not meeting our needs, and look at, we want to go to college.
It was the political evolution of a group of young Chicanos in East LA and asserting their real identity and then getting involved and realizing that the system wouldn't change unless you became more direct action.
My decision to walk out was probably the lightest decision in terms of what I would have liked to have done at that point, with that kind of youth and energy and anger.
To see outright hostility, brutality, it didn't match the thing that we were doing. We didn't commit a crime. We were protesting.
The blowouts made us all realize that all collectively we had a strong voice, and it gave us a power that we didn't realize that we had before.
This was a time in which enough Chicano students had gained mastery of the tools that were necessary to shake up the system and had taken the ideals of the country to heart. And so we protested for our rights.
Ganas, that's all I need. Ganas decide to learn, the ability to sacrifice to improve, the wish to get ahead. And ganas also means hard work, and hard work makes the future. You're the best. You know, people's watching you, looking at you, learning from you. We're gonna do it. You are the best hope of the future.
We're accused of cheating on the test, and through this day, whenever I doubt myself, whenever I encounter something that is academically challenging, I just repeat to myself, I passed that calculus test twice. I can do this. He was firm but funny. So I loved the sense of humor. I loved how he made math so relevant and so just applicable to just everyday life. And I loved his human side, where he would share all his personal stories and his struggles of his immigrant stories of coming to this country and not speaking English and having to learn English. And just the thought of having been pretty much a professor in Bolivia, and then having to come and start all over was a daunting task to me. Here I was trying to get through his calculus class, let alone just the thought of knowing that somebody invalidated all of that and having to start all over from the onset. I think he's got human connection. So I loved him. I loved the way he would challenge us. I loved the tough love, but he wouldn't let us get away with anything. And I appreciated that. He really helped me to focus and to just instill that he helped everyone blossom. I think we were already on the path towards college in that one particular class in 1982, but he just made you better, and he just made you believe in yourself more than, if somebody believes in you more than yourself, then how can you fail at anything, right? Because no, if somebody believes in me, of course I can do this. There are brains in East LA, there's potential, there's a lot of kids with a lot of talent. And I think it motivated kids, and it motivated me to become an educator and to want to return to the community. And I taught in East LA for 22 years. I love it. I really feel that it's a passion. It has to be a passion to put up with the struggles of working in inner cities. It has to be a compassionate drive also to be able to see beyond, the poverty, and see beyond the stresses that kids come to school with, and to see that potential. And that's what he gave me. He saw beyond. He saw, you can be the engineer, you can be the teacher, you will be this. Just work hard. And that's what I try and instill in my teachers too, and to let them see how important they are. And you never know, with that one statement that you make to that kid could and might make the difference in the life of that child.
Osvaldo Garcia graduated from UCLA with a master's in public service and has worked at a nonprofit in Boyle Heights, building affordable housing for community members.
Okay, so being an agent of change for me is personal. It's always been something that I wanted to do to help create positive change in the neighborhood. In my last line of work, I was a project manager for a nonprofit in East LA, and I worked there about 9 years total, and I helped develop about 100% affordable housing developments throughout East LA and Lincoln Heights. And the reason I did that is because I wanted families who were in the neighborhood to try to stay in their neighborhoods, and also to have a place, a safe, secure place for them to grow up. And we wanted to make sure that we made those units, those apartments, as affordable as possible, and that's why we made them 100%. And for me, it's personal because I grew up poor. I grew up as a middle child in a family of 8 in a 1-bedroom apartment. We had to move around a lot in our city because my parents were just trying to save up enough money for us to buy a house. And what happened is that we could no longer afford our neighborhood, and we were kicked out. And so I moved 20 miles away, and I always wanted to figure out how it is that I can try to make sure that other families in the future don't go through the same things that I did. So that's why I chose the work that I do, and that's why I loved doing it, because it was personal for me. And the best feeling after making sure that I put together a project and built it was seeing those families moving in for the first time, and for a kid having a room of their own. And for me, that's all personal, because I didn't have a room of my own until I was like 18. So that's why I do what I do, and that's why I'm an agent of change.
25%, 50%, 75%, and 100%.
Who's calling the shots, I said?
Okay, you'll have to stand in the back until I can get another desk. You said right here.
Everyone please read the first paragraph for a second.
On a back stamp goes all the way. We infuse our pathway. Do it every day. We infuse our pathway every way. Communicate, critical think, problem solve and collaborate. We are community collaborators. We listen, we are not agitators. We discuss politely, not being debaters. We work together to be creators. On the back goes all the way. We infuse our pathway. Do it every day. We infuse our pathway every way. Communicate, critical think, problem solve and collaborate. We are community collaborators. We are effective communicators. We are becoming awesome orators. Hear our voice, we are demonstrators. We painting the picture, we illustrators. On the back stem goes all the way. We infuse our pathway. Do it every day. We infuse our pathway every way. Communicate, critical think, problem solve and collaborate. We are critical thinkers, connecting educational linkers. Level 1, nope, we are rethinkers. We level up, not fooled by tricksters. We are problem solvers. Creative ideas, not exclusive but involvers. On the back stem goes all the way. We infuse our pathway. Do it every day. We infuse our pathway every way. Communicate, critical think, problem solve and collaborate.